Let's bring in former acting ICE director and Fox News contributor Tom Homan. Tom, let me ask you about the breaking news first of all. Personnel is often policy, right? So the Biden administration finally announcing who they would like to nominate to run Customs and Border Protection. This is Chris Magnus. He's a police chief in Tucson, Arizona. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but if you are, I'll get your thoughts on that and filling this position.
I'm not familiar with him, but if he's in law enforcement, it's probably a good thing. However, if Tucson is still a sanctuary city and he supports that, I have a huge problem with it. So I'd have to research him more to find out exactly where he stands in immigration. Right. You can't be running CBP and believe in sanctuary cities. It's ridiculous.
All right, let's also have you listen to Governor Abbott of Texas. He was on with Fox News Sunday yesterday talking about this number that is projected, 35,000 migrant children in federal custody by June. Watch.
And there is a report in the New York Times, Governor, that the government now projects more than 35,000 unaccompanied minors in federal custody by June. One, could it get that bad? And two, what's the biggest single thing that President Biden could do to stop the surge?
First, Chris, I will tell you that, candidly, I expect that number to be far higher.
So he expects the number to be higher. Just for everybody to see at home, let me put the numbers up on the screen for you. The number of unaccompanied minors encountered in January was 5,852. Remember, these are all kids under the age of 18. In March, up to 18,890. So if you do the math, perhaps Governor Abbott is correct. It would be more than 35,000.
I absolutely think it's going to be higher. Look, what the Biden administration is doing, they're spending billions of dollars to setting up more welcome centers so they can move these migrants through the process quicker. Because if they can prevent overcrowding, then they're going to say it's not a crisis. You know, even though thousands are coming every day being released, there's not a crisis according to them. So they're going to get really good at releasing people. So I think the numbers of UACs is going to climb at extraordinary high rates. But they're going to have billions of dollars new facilities they're building to get them through the process more efficiently. The bottom line is, why aren't they stopping it? You know, spend billions of dollars of taxpayers' money to release these people quickly, get back to catch and release. How about actually enforcing the law? It would cost a lot less. Enforce law like the Trump administration did and drop illegal immigration 70%. There's an easy fix to this. Reinstate the Remain in Mexico program. Let the Border Patrol agents secure the border rather than acting as tourist agents, releasing people in the United States. And let ICE do their job. Let them enforce immigration laws in the interior, because people coming across that border know they're going to be released. They know they're never going to remove because ICE can't remove them because ICE has been decapitated. Until the Biden administration starts taking law enforcement serious, it's not going to stop.
Tom, listen to Tyler Moran. He's a special assistant to President Biden on immigration in the Domestic Policy Council. I'm going to get your take of this. Watch.
The borders aren't open, but we're also following the law. And the law says that when people come to our border and they ask for protection, that we can process them. Not everybody's going to qualify and not everybody's going to stay. But we're not a country that's going to turn kids back into the desert by themselves.
Just a quick comment from you on that, Tom. Seemingly they're not changing anything.
You know, first of all, they're not enforcing any laws. She's wrong. If these people are claiming asylum, they're not even conducting asylum interviews. They're processing and release them. No asylum interviews are even being conducted. So she don't know what she's talking about. And I'm sick and tired of Biden administration saying that men and women at Border Patrol send people back to the desert to die. Men and women at Border Patrol saved over 4,000 people. These people they're being treated humanely by Border Patrol agents. The only humanity on the southern border right now is the men and women wearing green, the way they treat these children and women. No one's sending anybody back in the desert to die. And unlike what President Biden said during his speech, no one's sitting there watching children starve to death on the banks of the Rio Grande. Shame on the commander-in-chief for making such a statement.
And maybe just a last question to you. There is a report that the White House is considering the possibility of sending direct payments to people in Central America, you know, to try to get them to not come. What do you think of that?
Well, we held hostage now. We got to pay people not to violate our laws. Look, you do that, you're going to see the migrant numbers get higher than they are now. Because now you're giving them money so they can pay an alien smuggler to get him here. It's just ridiculous. Again, you don't have to spend all this money. Let Border Patrol and ICE enforce the law. Let Border Patrol secure the border. They did it under the Trump administration. They can do it again. You send money to Central Americans, that's going to be more people smuggled to the United States because they're going to turn that money over to alien smugglers.
Tom Homan, always good to be with you. I'm sure we'll see you again this week. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for having me.